Hey, what's up guys, OSG here, and today we will be looking at the 20 best Commodore 64 sports games in order of greatness. Now there's been some dispute as to what is a sports game in terms of karate etc, but as they are sports they are definitely in my list. What isn't in the list is driving games, as we already covered them. There were literally hundreds of sports based games on the C64, but I've narrowed it down to what I would say are the 20 best. So without more delay, let's get started on the 20 best Commodore 64 sports games in order of greatness. Kicking us off in 20th place is a true sports classic, and that's Track and Field. This is probably the most well known game on the list in terms of fan base for the arcade. While it's not as good as the arcade, it's still a pretty decent game in terms of look, sound and gameplay. Seventeenth place is taken by International Basketball. I never played this as a kid, as basketball wasn't massive over here in the UK, but I actually laughed when I saw it, as it's so similar to Emlyn Hughes International Soccer, just with a basketball instead. 1 year before this game, Commodore released International Soccer, which I think obviously influenced both this game and Emlyn Hughes. In 16th position is Barry McGuigan's World Championship Boxing. When it comes to boxing games on the 8-bit systems, well, they weren't very good. Punch-Out on the NES was probably the pinnacle, but this one on the C64 was also great. It has nice training sections and the fighting has a good range of moves for a one-button control. Hypersports is in 15th place. This is definitely one of my most played sports games on this list. It has a wide range of games from swimming to clay pigeon shooting. The controls are great, although the swimming is a proper joystick breaker. Fourteenth place is taken by World Class Leaderboard. Golf games have come a long way now, but this game from a gameplay point of view still stands up and is a real joy to play. For a kid who was into golf like I was, this was a brilliant game that was very competitive. I used to play this with my brother-in-law, who always beat me at real golf, but I was a champ on this. In 13th position we have Emlyn Hughes International Soccer. I mentioned this game in the International Basketball clip, and I'm sure that now you will see the similarities. That aside, this is a brilliant side-on football game that is a vast improvement in the gameplay department of International Soccer from Commodore. Skate or Die takes 12th place. Super looking game here that did right what was rubbish about the C64 720 Degrees game. The music is by Rob Hubbard, so we know our ears are in for a treat, and the range of skateboard mini-games is enough to keep you coming back. Eleventh place is taken by Summer Games. Not even halfway on this list, so you know the top 10 is going to be good. This is Epix, and if it's one thing that Epix did well, it's make a competitive sports game. In this game we have a wide range of Olympic sports that each have their own unique controls, so we don't have a problem with repetitiveness. It still looks amazing for an 8-bit game. In 10th place is MicroLeague Baseball. This is the only game on the list that isn't a straightforward sports action game. It's a strategy management game that, although I never played it at the time, for obvious reasons that baseball wasn't big in the UK, it's now one of my favourite sports games on the C64. You don't really have to enjoy or understand baseball either to play this, just have the desire to be the best and win. World Games is in 9th place. This is another Epix game which is plain to see from the game presentation. But after the success of Summer Games, why would you try and change that? What they did do was bring us some more obscure games ranging from log rolling to bull riding, which was my personal favourite on this game. Eighth place is taken by Summer Games 2, much the same as Summer Games but with different events. This one is higher up on the list as I enjoy the events on this more, like canoeing and the javelin. In 7th position we have International Karate. This is the system-free karate game that spawned a game that we know is going to be high up on this list. It got the controls just right and you fought in a number of classy looking backdrops. Leaderboard Golf takes 6th place. Some people prefer world class leaderboard over this, but for me this will always have a place in my heart as the first golf game I ever liked. I spent so much time on this, slicing and hooking shots, but I persevered and it became one of my all time favourites. Fifth place is taken by Way of the Exploding Fist. This game actually scared the crap out of me when it loaded up with that Bruce Lee shriek. After that I was met with a brilliant karate game that was different enough from International Karate to make me want to play it. We have a bull punching bonus stage that I don't think the other 8-bits had, and although the music is just looped, it's surprisingly calming and doesn't become annoying. In 4th place we have MicroProse Soccer. This was by far the best football game on the 8-bit systems. It's a top-down classic that scrolls great and looks fantastic. Me and my mates would play this all the time and have tournaments, but the true star for me was the 5-a-side game. It was so fast with the ball not going out to play. California Games is in third place. Going through this list, I have realised that sports games were probably one of the C64's strong points. Apart from a handful of games on this list, every one has a special nostalgic meaning for me, involving friends, and this one was one of our favourites, and probably the most played in our group. The surfing event was my favourite, but it's hard, and the BMX was my best friend's favourite. There's something in this game for everyone. Second place is taken by Winter Games. This is the best epics game on the system, and it's the snowy version of Summer Games. We have loads of great events like Hot Dog and Biathlon, but let's not mention figure skating, as I hated that event. It boiled my blood. And now, in first place is IK+. This is like a masterclass on how to make an 8-bit fighting game. 3 fighters in this one, with brilliant music that is ingrained in my memory forever. This was and still is a favourite with me and my mates, and although the Amiga version is superior, this is still as playable as ever. Okay, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite C64 sports games were, and if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great retro content. Till next time, this is OSG signing out.